Chapter 11, Superhero. The background behind superhero. Moving to the United States from New Zealand was a rather large culture shock. Not only is the country so much larger, but each state is so ridiculously different to the next. I love living in DC, but I also love traveling to visit other states. So when one of my friends from New Zealand told me she would be visiting Colorado with her son, who is a little younger than me, but not by much, I jumped at the chance to go and visit them and explore a new part of America. They met me in Denver, and we road tripped to Telluride, stopping for a few days in Montrose, where I decided I wanted to get a tattoo to tribute my surrogate brother, who had passed away in 2008. As we walked into the parlor, I asked the head tattoo artist if he would be able to tattoo the music for Always Look on the Bright Side of Life from Monty Python on my arm. His answer? He would love to, but he couldn't do it that afternoon as he had to report to his probation officer. Oh, he was on probation? What for? Attempted murder of the man who tried to rape his niece. Well, damn. Okay. The next day I went back to the parlor, and while getting my ink, started conversing with the artist about his life and struggles, to which he started telling me all about how difficult being on probation is. My reply was something along the lines of, well, isn't it wonderful that your biggest issue right now is paperwork, whereas if you were a man of color and you tried to murder someone, no matter the reason why, chances are you'd be dead right now. Silence. You know what? You're right, he admitted. And just like that, the entire tattoo shop and I dove into a conversation about racial inequality and injustice across the United States. It was a topic I was still learning a lot about, as I'd had the fortune of growing up in New Zealand, a country that isn't without its racial tensions, but certainly does a better job than many countries, especially the United States. Being a person of color here is like a fascinating and sometimes scary, often uncomfortable social studies experiment. I might look the part, but my accent is funny and my demeanor and personality don't quite fit the profile, whatever that means. The songwriting process for Superhero. After our lengthy conversation resulting in a beautiful tattoo, I went back to our accommodation and spent a long time meditating on the afternoon's conversation. From an outside perspective, it would have been very easy to mistake the tattoo parlor's staff as racist or bigoted, but the ideas we exchanged in that conversation were gorgeous. My friends had left me to my own devices that evening, so I remember nibbling on a cookie, again, legal in Colorado, picking up my guitar and strumming chords, meditating on the ideas we had discussed, and I realized quickly that I wanted to write a song appealing to the positive and proactive community in the States, those who knew that love was their superpower. After all, no one really wakes up in the morning thinking, you know what, today I'm going to be an asshole. Quite often, it's the opposite. We all wake up wanting to do the best and be the best for our communities. So what better way to serve our entire community than by being a superhero, with compassion, empathy, and truth as our weapons? How Superhero Saved Me. This song was the first step of many that would continue to serve my learning about what it means to be a person of color in the United States. Growing up in New Zealand, yes, racism exists, but not nearly to the same extent that it does here in America. I wasn't born with the burden of my color. I wasn't born being resented or feared because of my color. I wasn't born into a society that didn't recognize my humanity. I wasn't born with the stains of blood from my ancestors on my back. But I was learning quickly about what it all means. I was also learning, scarily, what it feels like to be judged based on my skin color. Nonetheless, I was, and continue to be, fiercely optimistic that love will win, that superheroes will prevail. Activity. What are your superpowers? It could be radical love, radical compassion, kindness, the ability to mentor, the ability to help people. You could have superhuman strength or be the world's best teacher, mother, father, or spouse. How do you lead the change in your community? Write down your superpowers and celebrate how magical and powerful you are to have them. wash away the pain. I would, if I could throw it all away. I would.